Yo, we in the house. We in the house. We is in the house. Yeah. Run, tell that. We in the lab. Oh, this is a special one right here. You know, all the shows are special, but this one is special right here. I got some of my family right here. Woo! I ain't saying woo for that purpose right there, but I got the family in the house. I got my big brother. I got Phoenix Higgins in the house. Phoenix in the house. Bam! Phoenix in the house. Then I got my brother Jay Craig Gordon. So really, y'all already know him. You know, I'm gonna say. Then we got our little brother in the house, man. We got Jason in the house, Jason Short in the house. Bam, run, tell that. They all in the house. You got Jay Craig in the house. You got the Firebird. You got the Benu Phoenix in the house. And then you got the one who coming from the Rocky Mountain area. Who, you know, you say I got the Nuggets gear on for you, baby. Yes. Run, tell that. And this is a special. We said all our shows are special. And we just going to flow right into it right now. So we're going to hit it just like this. Jason, who are you?
I am Jason Walter Short. I was one of the writers and producers of the Boo Hag movie, which just shot in Savannah this past month. I'm an independent producer and craftsman and lives in Brooklyn, New York, represent. And I love making movies. I live for it. It's my jam.
We're going to get deep into that right there. And so then, just like I said, I call him Big Brother because I'm let y'all know, Phoenix about 6'3", 6 or so. That's why I say, shoot, I can't go and say little brother. That's why I can't say that. You know, so Phoenix Higgins, who are you?
My name is Phoenix Higgins, originally from the great state of Alabama, right next door to the great state of Georgia. Born and raised there. Came to New York, found my way in this crazy business called entertainment, and been at it ever since. And I am one of the writers and producers for the Boo Hag. And like Jason said, we just shot in March down in Savannah, Georgia. And that's who I am.
All right. And so again, because somebody already done threw it out, R.G. Bryant done threw it out there. He said to our senator, you know, J. Craig Gordon, he already threw it out there. He said, Representative Craig Gordon. So I'm like, who are you, Craig Gordon?
You muted, Jay. You muted.
Is it on now?
All right, yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. I'm just a little country boy from a place called the great state of Chatham, and I'm just honored to be here amongst my family, man. You know, Jason is a resident of the birthplace of one of the greatest rappers of all time, and Phoenix is a fellow country boy who has made his way. Both of them have in one of the hardest places, in my opinion, to cut your teeth and make a name for yourself, New York City. And I was honored to be a part of this project with them, and have been honored for over a decade and 2 decades to call them both friends. So just happy to be here, Doc.
All right, glad to have you.
Hey, Doc. You see how smooth Jay Craig is? We asked him who he was, and he still laid it out for everybody else. That's how smooth he is. He answers the question without ever answering the question.
Yes, sir.
That
And
ghost
see,
face,
and
that ghost
Phoenix,
face
that's
killer.
why,
Now you
that's
see me,
why
now
I'm
you
coming to
know.
him on this next question right here. Because again, I'm coming to him right now about. I'm coming to him right now. But I'm letting everybody know. Listen here, all three of them are sophisticated. They might be country, but they sophisticated. They know what time it is. I'm gonna let y'all know. One might be from Canada, but guess what? They sophisticated. I'm gonna let y'all know that. So now I'm gonna hit Craig. I'm gonna hit Craig with this right here, because you know how Gullah Geechee. Y'all know how we do. Y'all know something how we do. Who your people? Craig, or who your people?
Who my people? Who my people, man? I come from the household of Jonell and Charles Gordon. So half South Carolina, half Sandersville and Savannah, Georgia.
All
And I'm
right, all right.
born and raised Memorial Hospital.
So you know that's how we roll. So now, bam, we're gonna throw it at Phoenix. Who your people?
So, like I said, I come from the great state of Alabama, from the Higgins tribe on one side on my dad's side, and the Finley tribe on my mom's side. And yeah, born and raised in the sticks, man, and proud of it. And everything that I am right now is because of what those two tribes poured into me, and I'm proud to represent them both.
All
Amen.
right. So,
Amen.
so now I'm saying, what area the sticks you from?
So we moved around a little bit, but I call Talladega home. I don't know if anybody's ever seen a very funny movie called Talladega Nights, but that racetrack that they're referring to is about 3 miles from where I grew up. So
Okay.
yeah, that's my
Shake,
hometown.
shake and bake, Ricky Bobby.
Take your bait, Ricky Bobby.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. The lessons you gonna learn in life. That's right. So, Jason, who your people?
Everybody's my people, man.
All right, all right.
I was born in Calgary, Alberta, to one Pamela Short and one Donald Short. And when I was a kid, I moved down to Fort Collins, Colorado, where I was bred and raised around the Rocky Mountains, about 20 miles west, and you'd be right in the middle of the mountains. 20 miles east, you'd be in the middle of the prairie. I lived there until about 2008 when I moved to Brooklyn, New York, to pursue film and television and all sorts of stuff. And then, yeah, now I'm just here, living it up.
All right. We feel you. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So we're gonna come to my brother Phoenix. Phoenix, like, who inspires you, or who inspired you?
It's a good question, Doc. I know this is going to sound like a generic answer, but I kind of purposely try to keep an open mind and draw inspiration from everywhere. I believe that growing up in Alabama, everywhere you looked, if your mind was open, there was inspiration. I mean, down to I can remember being a little boy with a magnifying glass looking at ants and how they cooperated and how they would all march in a straight line for what seemed like, as a little boy, it seemed like miles. And I always wondered, like, who was giving them direction and how did they know what to do? And it inspired me, as well as, people that I run into. That's one of the reasons I think, and Jason can probably speak to this, that I chose New York because it's such a, diverse group of people. And you can go down to Chinatown, you can go to Little Haiti, you can go, you just so many places, Little Italy, and there's inspiration everywhere, man. So there's not one person or one place that I'm inspired by. I'm a global citizen, and I'm here to take it all in.
All right. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, Jason, who inspired you, or who inspires you?
Man, I gotta hand it to my old man. My dad really inspires me. His work ethic and commitment, but getting like into the arts. I grew up doing theater. I started when I was real young, like 6, started to kind of get into it, and ended up working pretty professionally out there until I moved to New York. But when I was about 12 years old, I saw George Roy Hill's Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and at the end of that is a little featurette about like the making of the movie, and I really got to hand it to him because that little featurette changed my life, and from that moment on, I couldn't stop thinking about how movies were made and how they came together and the technical aspects of it. And, outside of that, my old man and a list about 1,000,000 miles long. I try to just draw inspiration from everything and whatever I can, living life to its fullest potential.
All right. Yes, indeed. And we understand that's what it's about. So, Craig, who inspired you?
Man, not to sound redundant, but it starts at home for me. My parents, my grandparents on both sides, aunts, uncles, and then just being in Georgia, we have such a mecca of leaders, from Savannah to Atlanta, and now even in entertainment that started out with nothing or started out with a mission and saw it through, from what Maynard Jackson and Floyd Adams and Dr. Otis Johnson and everybody, from Savannah to what Maynard Jackson did with the Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, and just the legacy building of all those different layers of capacity growth that are still continuing to kind of move up the escalator or the pendulum now. And then I started seeing what people that were independent were doing in music and film, and how I think it really helped not just the way that they moved and grooved with their artists, like, Jay-Z and Dame Dash to Berry Gordy, to, people like Tyler Perry and, Melvin Van Peebles, and just that, that organic ability to not have somebody telling you how your story should be, who should be in it, how long you have to film it, how you want to market it, and being able to find a platform in a way to take it to the public, again, whether it's music or film. So I think all of those different layers of inspiration kind of turned into a cocktail or a gumbo of what helped kind of create where I've gone and where I am and where I'm trying to go together with these guys, and at the same time, creating opportunity for others to come behind us. And we've had so many people that have done great things in Savannah, and some of them have come back and some of them haven't. But to be able to do to Savannah what Tyler Perry has done to Atlanta, what Spike Lee has done to Brooklyn, and Woody Allen has done for for the Manhattan area. Like, we don't really have that independent culture, at least that I've seen it organically growing in our city, because although we are probably the second as it relates to television and film in the state, most of these are major studios from New York and LA that come and they drop off a considerable bag as it relates to that economic development, and then they leave. But I've come and gone, but this is home. So to be able to embark on our first feature and it being in my back door, what I say our back door, it meant a lot. And again, that inspiration within itself came from people who I saw doing that in their own hood. What NWA did for Compton, what Spike Lee did for Brooklyn, what Tyler Perry is doing for Atlanta. Like, those things always meant a lot to not just me but all of us.
Yes, indeed. And we said to the one. Oh.
Craig, you inspire me, bro. God damn.
And that's it. Right. That's it. That's the defeating author. That's right. That's when Phoenix said, he said just what you said. Again, that's what it comes from all around. And that when you got your mind's eye open, you can see it and you're inspired by it. From the smallest thing to the largest thing, that again, it touches you. And so, yes, indeed. And to the run, tell that family, we say share. And here go Robert Bryant. He got to bring up my people from Sandersville too. He got to bring that up. So he got to get that. My people from Sandersville too. So we're going to roll with this one right here. So Jason, my brother Jason, what song or songs give you that to give you that food that when you hear it, it just makes you like it turns you out with regard to joy and all that, give you that like yeah, have you rolling. So what song is that, or what songs of it?
Bro, my number one for the last few years has been Nako and the Medicine for the People, Love Letters to God. That song, every time I hear it, sends chills down my spine.
Well,
That
that's
makes
right.
me feel so connected and with such a positive deposition. Like, I think anything's possible.
Wait, Jason, what song is that?
It's called Love Letters to God by Nako and the Medicine for the People.
I'm gonna check that out.
Right, because that's what's going to happen. People going to listen, hear what y'all say, and somebody else going to check it out, and bam, it could be something again that become inspirational. So then, Jason, you become inspirational to some other folks too. So yeah,
we love that. We love that.
And we move on over to my brother Phoenix. What songs give you that? Give that whoo, yeah.
Well, first I want to say, like, the way we're talking now is because I see Prada Too Crazy is in the chats, and she's saying she wants to be in the movie. We'll get to that later. It might be a little bit too late, Prada Too Crazy, but there's maybe some other stuff coming down the line. But the way we're talking right now, man, like this is what Jay Craig and Jason and I can't tell you how many of these kinds of conversations we had where it's just, we're talking about inspiration. Like this is kind of where it happens. It's not like it just, if you're open, it comes from all areas. And like he just said that song, and then I'll spin off and go listen to it, and it'll spark me in a way, and then we'll come back and talk. Like it's a ever evolving thing. So I just want to take a moment and highlight that and say to people in the chat, like, man, listen to the people you got around you. And even listen to people who might not be around you every day, because I'm telling you, it's everywhere. If like Dr. Teray said, if your mind's eye is open. So to answer the question, the two songs that get me going, the first one is "Doing It to Death" by James Brown. I mean, man, the horns is, what can you do with those horns? You can't do anything but groove to it. That's all you can do. And it's just like that rhythm, man, it takes me to another place. It's like that. It's almost like a spiritual rhythm. So if you all get a chance to check it out tonight or first thing in the morning. When you take your B12, listen to "Doing It to Death" by James Brown. You'll be good to go for the rest of the day. And then the second song would be "My Way" by Frank Sinatra.
Okay. Yes, indeed. All right. And so, our brother Jay Craig.
Oh man,
to give you that those songs. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's funny, man, because mine actually goes back to Frank Sinatra by way of Nas. It's New York State of Mind. But when I say it in my head, like I always say, Seaport State of Mind. But that's man, I must have played that almost every day before we went to the set, and then I always make it a point to play it on my birthday. And then if I had a second, it would be "Watch for the Hook," which was like the Dungeon Family song that had everybody on it: Cool Breeze, Big Boy, Dre, Witch Doctor, because I felt like it kind of showed a level of diversity that I saw, like the whole state for the first time in one capsule given to the world.
Okay. Yes, indeed. So we're now moving to this area that, again, some people want to know about. How did you all get involved in entertainment? How do you get involved in entertainment? What is your foray into entertainment? So we go to Phoenix. How do you get involved in entertainment? What's your entertainment background?
My background is producing. How I got into it, I kind of took a little bit of the scenic route, but I was in the military and specialized in systems maintenance and logistics, combat logistics, and I kind of transferred those skills into production, and they've served me well. And that's kind of how I got in. One day, I was I knew somebody who worked at Rockefeller Records. Her name was Emmanuel Cuny Paniker, and she invited me down to a music video set one day. And I got down there, man, and I was looking around, and I was like, yo, I want to do this.
Ah.
Coming from Alabama, I'd always wanted to be in the business, but it was just, man, divine intervention put me in the right place at the right time. And she told me that I could come the next day and be in the video. And man, I quit my job the next day. Like,
Man, what song was it? What song was it?
It was 6 a.m. and I'm leaving the club. I can't think of the name. Yeah, so I quit my job. I'm not advising anybody to do that. Right? I'm on a whole other level. Please do not quit your job the next day. But yeah, I quit my job, and man, the rest is history. There's a much longer version of it, but that's the short version.
All right, because I'm sure we're going to be getting that, maybe not today, but we'll get another point another time. Yeah. So now, with regards to Craig, let y'all know, some of y'all know Craig for something else, so we got to throw it out there because y'all not see Craig wear many hats. It's not just that one hat on his head. He wears many hats. So, Craig, how did you get involved in entertainment?
Man, so that's a good question. It started out with a dream of being an actor, and there was a time when we had a lot of movies coming through Savannah, so I got a chance to be a part of Forces of Nature, Midnight in the Garden, Good and Evil, number of short films, and then the work kind of slowed down a little bit. I was at Savannah State, and it just kind of went on a hiatus. That was before the Georgia tax credit. And then, a lot of people know Akintunde, the comedian, son of Savannah. So, Ak and I would jump in his car, man, get some gas money, and we go to New Orleans. Was hot at the time. And I didn't even have an agent. I literally was piggybacking on his agent because she didn't know whether to take me serious because I was still in school. So she would be like, okay, well, I'm going to let you go with Akintunde. And if it's something in there for you, then go ahead and do it. But she actually respect the way she went about it. And then we would go to North Carolina, Tim Reed and his wife. That's why, I always try to make sure people are correct with their history. It was a lot of buzz, but with Tyler Perry being the first, Black person to have a studio, that is not true. He has the largest studio, but you gotta, we gotta always remember our history. Tim Reed, producer, writer, actor, and an entrepreneur. He and his wife had their own studio in Wilmington, North Carolina, a decade or two before Tyler came. Proud of both of them. So yeah, we did, auditions there, and then it just kind of got to that point, like Phoenix said, where you can only go but so far, with 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Like, you're either going to do this or not. And it wasn't that the love stopped, but in my mind, I felt like I don't know that I want to continue auditioning and it being predicated on somebody else in another room deciding who's right or not right for the part. And so, I made a lateral move more into business, which led into politics and then back to entertainment. But I always said, when I wanted to make that move and go 100% into entertainment, it was going to be from a standpoint of control. Not that the love to be in front of the camera has dwindled, because it's not. If anything, it's intensified. But I wanted it to be a part of a movement that made sure that I was a part of the control process versus somebody else. And ultimately, that's what ended up happening. Didn't know what the timeline was going to be. That was left up to God. But it happened when it was meant to happen.
That's it. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And so, Jason, you gave us a part of it. So, but again, give us a little bit more. How did you get involved in entertainment? How did that come about?
Man, talk about a lifetime pursuit. I remember back when I was like 4 or 5 years old, even I have 3 other siblings, and we'd watch a movie and then we'd organize our own little production of it and put it on for my parents or whoever was around. And when I was like kindergarten, I ended up taking on a role in the school play because some other kid got sick or got afraid. So I was like, I'm a ham, I'll do it. And man, I just from there, my best friend growing up, his parents were really involved with the community theater out there. and there was like an acting troupe for kids. And so by the time I was 6 years old, I started to take classes with them and got my first professional gig when I was 7, and spent the entirety of my youth on stage, backstage, around theater, studying theater, performing, all of it, digesting it, and living for it. And when I finally moved to New York, it was like I'd always, I always had seen New York in the movies, or the idea of Broadway, and it was calling to me. And I studied at a conservatory for a couple of years out here. Performance for film and television and theater, and it was really emotionally draining. It was a really arduous and somewhat traumatic experience. By the time I got out in 2010, I was at a very, very low point. I was drinking, smoking a ton of pot, and my mental health wasn't in a great place. I was living out of a boiler room with a homeless man named Bo, who's missing half of his brain, and I was on the street, and I didn't know what I wanted to do anymore. I'd lost a lot of direction, and my dad. I hadn't really talked to my parents in a bit. He came out to New York kind of looking for me to figure out what the hell was going on. And he found me. I was living out of like the Newkirk Plaza station, and he put me in a hotel, and we found the first apartment that, like, he called a broker and was like, I need the first apartment you got. And he put me up in an apartment in Greenpoint. Thank God that I was so fortunate, and I didn't want to have anything to do with that. I was still like, I was really angry at the world. I didn't, in my mind, I was, I was already more than a celebrity, but in reality, I was just all over the place. And I wound up in the hospital. And when I got out, I'd started to come back to reality a little bit, and was given an ultimatum that I had like 9 months to get my shit together. And then after that, it was just like whatever I wanted to do. My parents weren't going to help me. And so, being a little delinquent, I went up to the roof of this new apartment and was up there smoking a cigarette or something, and I look down across the street and I see a bunch of movie trailers. And not just that, I noticed that there's all of these sound stages, and by some divine intervention, I had gotten an apartment right across the street from Broadway Stages, which is one of the largest sound stages, stage operations in all of New York. And it kind of dawned on me that this is my opportunity to actually pull my shit together, and that, like, there was an equipment shop that I saw right there across the street, and they would open their door every day at 7 a.m. And the owner, John Dianda, this little guy, kind of looks like Danny DeVito, to come out and do his thing. And so I started to just every morning wake up before 7 a.m., go across the street and stand there until he got there. And just like once he got in, I would go in, I would sweep his floor, like just kept showing up until he started to take me along to jobs, started to introduce me to people. I started to pick up little work. And Tony Argento, who owns Broadway Stages, got convinced this really prolific Local 52 guy, Jimmy Miller, to give me a job at his truck yard. He was renting trucks for film and television, and they got me in as a shop PA for a couple of pilots. And I just from that moment on, that was like, I got that first job with those guys January 2011. I'd started to like work grip stuff and pull myself together to have this opportunity 2010. And honestly, the film industry saved my life.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. That's right. That's
And
right.
And now it's like I live and I breathe every day, and thank God for the opportunity that I have to be here. And if anything, that's how I got involved with entertainment.
You are the Phoenix. You are the Phoenix. we got two Phoenixes. I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there. So just saying, you know, I'm gonna say, Mr. Producer, you got to put Phoenix over there too. So I'm letting them know we got two Phoenixes, but again, we just go ahead. We still keep it Jason right there. So we're gonna move on to this right here because again, I know the audience and people want to know. So I'll come to you, to my brother, Craig. What is a boo hag? What is a boo hag?
You know, I've learned throughout the years and even throughout the days that a hag comes in different names and different forms. Like Phoenix and I were talking, I don't know, was that Monday? And then learned that some people call it the haint. And I had never heard it referred to that before. Like I heard the hag or the witch or Geechee witch or boo hag, and it's probably, you know, a plethora of other names. But you know, scientifically, it's called sleep paralysis, when you have that feeling when you wake up at, you know, whatever hour of the morning or the night, and you kind of feel frozen, but you're still, for all practical purposes, aware of your environment and you can't move. And so when I was a kid, they would say the hag is riding you, or the witch is riding you. And so in essence, that's kind of, I guess, globally, when we talk about what a hag is, it could mean and be different things to different people, and a lot of it depends on where you're from in the coast, where you're from in the United States, or even, you know, where you're from in the world. But I used to have these, you know, hag-like experiences when I was a kid and, you know, young adult, and, you know, went to my mom and, you know, she'd say, oh, you know, pray on it, say the Lord's Prayer, or, you know, put some seeds or something in front of your bed. And again, I just grew up like that, and it was what it was. And, you know, I guess we'll get into, you know, a little bit more to gravitas later amongst everybody else. But, you know, that's my 30-second elevator speech of, if somebody saw the trailer or saw one of the, you know, the articles or something, and they said what a hag is, I'd be like, well, you know, it depends on who you asking and where you are.
So now the audience probably has saw something that when you were talking, Craig, the audience had probably saw, I had froze for a second. I had froze. Just like that. I was frozen. I was literally frozen because you had said something, made me freeze. Then you went and said something else, and then I just went down like that. The audience saw that because you and Phoenix had a conversation. Phoenix ain't saying that Jamal had talked about the haints and the hags, all that, but Phoenix ain't saying that. But I'm gonna leave that alone right now because my pressure going up. I need to suspend this ball.
We don't want the pressure.
Because you and Phoenix talking. But I'm just, and then y'all had heard Craig going to say that stuff, because y'all know when I hear that, telling the scientific name, the sleep paralysis. We ain't talking about that right now. But anyway, let me I'm bringing on down. So Phoenix, my brother Phoenix, you know, why did you decide to do a horror film interspersing, putting in the culture into the movie? Why did you decide to do that, my brother Phoenix?
No, man, it's not. I'll take the question, but that's not a Phoenix decision. That's a Jay Craig and Jason and Phoenix.
We gonna roll around. It's just because of time, Phoenix. That's what I'm just saying. So you know, I'm just for that appreciation. I'm just like, see that he know. See that I'm let y'all know. Jason and Phoenix, they are no nonsense. I'm gonna let y'all know in the movie set. I said I was gonna try to get in there. What happened? You know, on Boo Hag stays on Boo Hag. I wasn't gonna bring nothing up because again, but there were some taskmasters right there. But I'm leaving that alone. I'm just trying to disperse it around.
We have seen so many films that you can tell the people who wrote the film are not a part of the culture, or did not take their time to thoroughly research the culture. And we made a conscious effort not to do that. You know, it's a little bit easier for us because we are kind of natively a part of the culture, but there's still, you know, research that needed to be done and story points that needed to be fleshed out and talked about amongst us to make sure that we were being true to the folklore and to the Gullah Geechee community. And we were determined and continue to be determined because most of filmmaking happens in post. So post-production is when the editing happens. So we were determined in the conceptual phases and in pre-production and in production, and we remain determined in post-production.
All right. And so my brother Jason, so why was it important to have this as a part of the element? Because I'm going to tell you about Jason. We had to do dialogue coaching, and so Jason be right there. I'm like, will he please leave? Jason was right there. So I'm just saying. So I said, I got something funny tied to this right here. But yeah. So Jason, why was it important to be authentic and to be real? Why was that important with regard to this project?
So to me, so when we first embarked on this journey together, Phoenix and Craig had talked to me back in the end of 2013. We just rolled off my first feature. Phoenix had come in to EP and help out with that project. And towards the end of it, he's like, "Jason, you like horror films?" I was like, "Man, I love horror films. You want to write a horror movie?" And I was so down. And when we started, they sent me over a short story out of Gullah Goblins that had to do with the hag, and kind of sharing in the same vein that Phoenix had mentioned. There's so many movies out there that just like there's a place for B horror, and there's a place for like low budget cinema and entertainment just for the value of entertainment. But at the time there was really a void where Afrocentric horror movies should have been. And so taking on a project like this wasn't just an opportunity to do another like Boo Hag from the Hood movie. It was an opportunity to elevate a culture that's completely underrepresented throughout cinema. I mean, not just talking about like for horror movies, but the Gullah Geechee people. I mean, you've got Daughters of the Dust, you got a handful of documentaries, but the list is very short. And back then, like 2013 was really my first introduction even to the Geechee corridor and Gullah, and to me, I found it so fascinating that it seemed like this is it. Like this is the core audience. This is what we have to do. And I think as a team, we all just felt right there that it like to do this project right, we would have to try our damnedest to really represent the culture in the best way possible. So I think that's what we endeavored to do.
All right. And this is a twofer right here. This is a twofer. This is how we do this. Because Rontel, that this is what we do. Because again, we do our thing. And so to Craig Gordon, our brother, I want to know, why was it important to tell this story? But then also, what is the story about? And guess what? The twofer I said tied to that is that then it's a tag team. So y'all are a tag. Y'all are a tag team. So you can start a part. Then you can pass it on whoever you want to go next and go tell. What is the story about? Because I want Phoenix to like try to shut it. Jamal should not be discussing. So that's why I'm going to throw it out. So I was important to tell the story, and then also, what is the story about? What is the plot? And then you can tag team, bam, bam, bam. You got Jason, Phoenix, and Jason's also Phoenix too. Then you got Phoenix. Okay.
Well, I think it was important to tell the story because a Hag story, and I think, and not just my opinion, but all of our opinions, was going to be told at a certain point. So
Okay.
it was important that we were the ones who at least were first at bat to tell it, because what that basically does or did is set a standard for anybody coming behind us, whether it's a indie film or whether it's Paramount or Warner Brothers. Like, we put something into the stratosphere and into the universe that was a level of quality. It also was authentic, and it to the best of our ability was able to tell a story that was ultimately a horror story, but also the other cast members of the movie or the culture itself. The food is the cast, the sand, the
Mm,
waters that you hear,
mm,
doing some
mm,
of the scenes that
mm,
you'll see. I don't want to give away those nuggets, but
mm.
all of those entities and wherewithals played a part of the cast. And so again, anybody now who comes behind us is going to either have to take what we did and try to knock it out the box to another degree, but they certainly can't come under us and pass it off as something that's a quality product. And the story itself is about a couple that has some issues going on with their life, and they leave New York and come to the coast and end up having a fortunate or unfortunate, excuse me,
Mm,
hag-like
mm,
experience, though,
mm.
depending on how you view it.
Yes, sir.
Again, we don't want to give away too much, but we had I think it was a fun time, and I had a chance to work with two guys that I consider to be friends, which going to work every day didn't feel like work. It just felt like you're doing something that you were meant to do, and it was so many years in the making that it was a blessing to see it come in full circle.
Tag team, who you want to do? Oh, I just got Phoenix. Phoenix. Okay, I'm the manager right now, so Phoenix. Okay, yeah, Phoenix. Phoenix. That is Phoenix.
No, I think Jay Craig did a good job of kind of summing it up. You know, we can't give away the fortune inside the cookie, but we can guarantee that it is a cookie and it is sweet. So we can't wait for you all to taste it, and and then we'll see what you all think about the fortune that's inside.
All right. Then we'll see what Phoenix Jason can do right now. What can you share? What can you put out there with regard to your thoughts with regard to this, the project?
Well, it takes an outsider who has no prior knowledge or understanding of what in Gullah culture or the Sea Islands are like, and puts them through the ringer, and they get a crash course in it, in the most haunting and unfortunate way possible, which incorporates beautiful elements, good food, scary stories, and strong characters.
Okay.
Doc, we also had I think one of the things that means a lot to all of us is that we had a chance to work with some really good, not just actors in front of the camera, but we had Savannah folks who had sharpened their knives and their skill set for a number of years, from hair to makeup to culinary arts. But this was their first time doing something in a feature film, and from day one, man, I mean, they all knocked it out the park. From Chef Kevin and all this to a lot of y'all know Jolita, who used to be with Too Groovy Salon. I mean, I don't want to get into naming too many people, because then I get Rotten Tomato thrown at me next time I'm in the mall because I didn't mention somebody else's name. But even from our illustrious host who he talked about me wearing many hats, man. Dr. Teray, I don't know how Dr. Teray was. I can't even say what Dr. Teray did, because then I become a hypocrite and start giving away too many components of the movie. But there were multiple hats worn, literally and figuratively. And so we want to thank you for wearing all those hats and helping the project get it to where it is now. Like Phoenix said, sometimes you or in many cases, on post longer than you are camera rolling. But thank you for getting us to where we are now.
And that's what I want to throw that out there, because it was a great team of people that you all did have, and that's why I like, if one of you missed someone, then I think the other one would get it. But then I'm not going to put y'all in that position like that, so y'all might forget somebody. If Jason said somebody, Phoenix said somebody, then y'all still forgot. Like, okay, we're not going to do that. But now the thing we come to, what was exciting about it? Because Craig, you and I had some conversation, what you have felt good about. Mm-hmm. What was exciting about working with this project? You know, what was exciting about this project for you personally? What were the things that you saw come out of it? And we go to Phoenix. What was exciting about this project for you? Phoenix, that is Phoenix.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said Craig. I was
gonna say Craig has shared some things with me, and that's why I just want to get, because again, and he kind of conveyed it, that he got local people involved in this right here, and that was something that it was controlled, that you all had controlled it. So that's why I go to Phoenix.
Yeah, you know, man, so many people unfortunately live in this world and they have so much greatness, you know, just swimming around in their brains, and they never have the opportunity to, you know, for it to come out. And that's really unfortunate. And I feel grateful, and I think I speak for the rest of the team when I say that to write something and then to actually see it being performed, see the words that you wrote and the ideas that you had and the experiences that you've already gone through, to see that performed by other people and taken seriously, and people are studying for it, and dialect coaches are coming in and making sure they got it all right, and cameras are rolling and lights are shining. Man, it's hard to articulate what that feels like. You know, it really is. I call it the God space, because you know, you're creating, and I think that's one of the things that elevates you, you know, mentally and spiritually, when you're able to create. And it's not enough people that are able to do that, and I wish more people could. And it's easy and it's hard all at the same time. But for people that are watching us and listening to us, you know, the first step is just to write it down. Like, write it down, and then, you know, the universe will, if you stick with it long enough, your steps will be ordered. Because Jason mentioned us talking to him in 2013, but Jay Craig and I had been talking for how much, you know, how before
since the Welcome to Savannah video.
Yeah. So yeah, that was and is the most special part of it for me, just watching it come to life and knowing that this is something that you created and that is completed. The film isn't completed, but the shooting of the film is completed. And, you know, man, the power of completion is something. It's something. It motivates you. It gives you momentum and motivation to keep on going. And I think that's the stuff that, like, champions are made of. Like, when they run that touchdown, then they know that they can run the touchdown, and then they come into it knowing that they can do something, and now here you are trying to stop them from doing it, but you're not sure if you can stop them because you've never done it before, but they have done it before. So they have an advantage. Completion gives you an advantage over the resistance. So, man, go out there and complete as much as you can.
All right. Yes, sir. I'm going to let y'all know that I just steal that God space thing from Phoenix. I ain't going to let them know. I'm going to let everybody know. I got teach the God space thing. I like that right there. That thing's sexy right there. So I'm going to teach that thing right there. So now with my brother Jason, because he and I had conversations, and this is the time period that he likes right here, at least based on what he told me. So what is exciting about this point right here? Because Jason told me this is the point that he likes. He told me, he might not have told y'all that, but this is the side that he likes.
Man, you know, I'm gonna double down though and say, like, really, the people make the experience. You know, it's wonderful. I I'm with Phoenix in the process is amazing. Like it's like that the God space element. It's true. It's really amazing to see something that comes from the ether, formulate as an idea, get put onto paper as a blueprint, and then be erected into what we have. But part of my pedagogy on production and entertainment in general, and from the behind the scenes element, is that 15, 20 years down the line, however the project ended up, when you look at that, that's a time capsule back to all of the memories that went on behind the scenes, all of the people, all of that hard work, the opportunity to meet wonderful people like yourself. All of that is so important and really, really makes it worthwhile. I mean, if you could go into this whole process like with a really qualified team of people who you just don't get along with, and there would be something missing from it. It would be missing that heart and that soul. And honestly, if it weren't for the wonderful group of people that were assembled to pull this thing together, it wouldn't have happened, and B, it would have just felt like work, and it wouldn't have felt like love.
All right. Yes. And so
Well
to
said.
our brother Craig Gordon, because you had said something, I'm gonna paraphrase what you essentially say. I'm gonna just paraphrase that. One of the things that you had liked was the fact that the culture was in control of what was going on. That it was the culture, it was the respect that the culture was in control. And so, just want you to elaborate and talk about that. I think your video went out. You still with us, Craig? Mr. Producer, is Craig with us?
He's on set for another movie, so he might be.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm joking.
Well, we'll go on to this right here. Okay. Coming back in. We don't.
Hey, did he come back?
Boo
Sorry
head
about
got
that.
him.
Yes, yeah.
The head got me, man. I gotta get off that.
Oof, Ellis said the boo head got
Talk about the culture being in control, man.
It would be an EHAG. So for you, Craig, like I said, I'm just paraphrasing what you had said. One of the things that with regard to the culture was really was playing a role in directing and controlling what was going on, and that being essentially you all were the ones, because you respected the culture, and that was one of the good things about that. And I just want you to elaborate just a little for our audience who's checking it out.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was kind of a part of that pendulum of full circle that we talked about when you asked everybody about, what brought them or what their introduction to entertainment was, and I said that I would not, come back to the process or back to the field unless it was in a position of control. And so I think it was a blessing to not just do that, but have that level of control on something that was a pivotal part of the culture. It could have been a basketball movie. It could have been a romantic comedy. Could have been, a detective story, all of which I would love to be a part of telling one day, moving forward. But this was something that you couldn't really, well, I think in my opinion, in our opinion, you couldn't really tell the story without telling or allowing people to see the culture that the story came from in the first place. And so I couldn't think of a better project to at least call, the first one that I was involved in this magnitude, that could circle all those bases at the same time. Again, no prior authorship on the Buhag. That's a piece of folklore that's hundreds of, if not over 1,000 years, the same way nobody could say we own vampires or we own werewolves or we own, leprechauns. But there had not been a story like this told within, our own backyard. And again, there will be others. There could be some in 2 years. There could be some weeks after we drop or whatever. But it still meant a lot that, we did this. We did it our way, going back to Frank Sinatra. and we set a gold standard or a platinum standard, if you will, on what people coming behind us, should have to do. We want them to not just do what we did, but if you're going to tell a story like this, then do what we did and try to take it on an incline, vertically higher. I don't think it's possible, but
okay. So, Brother Phoenix, this question is: what is projected release date for the movie? What's the projected release date?
We don't have a projected release date as it stands right now. We are in post-production, and that does those conversations are with distributors, and so we're not in a position to say just yet. We are having some really interesting conversations though, so we will let you know as soon as we know. Okay,
cool. And so to Brother Jason, how can people be in tune to still be in the radar with regards to the BooHag? How can they keep their eyes open? Is there some place they can go, anything like that? Or how can they be in touch with you all just to know what's going on? Follow me on social media.
Sure. Yeah, we do have a social media page that we've set up. I think it's live, right? Phoenix is.
Yeah, it is. It's on this Instagram page.
It's called the Geechee Witch, and so to stay up to date, that's going to be a great way to do that. Is look us up on Instagram, follow us at the Geechee Witch, and. More news to come. As Phoenix said, our projected release date isn't set in stone, but we're looking at this next year. We have a lot of good conversations going, and we've kind of been holding everything back so that when we let it go to the world, there's more than enough to be excited about, because we're just up to our ears and stuff to be excited about, and can't wait to share it with you. So look us up, Geechee Witch, on Instagram. You'll know it with there's a picture of the two blue doors from Defusky Island, and you can check us out there.
All right, cool. And since again, like we share everyone that Run Tell That is the little brother show of all the ATR shows. All the other shows have like 2 hours and 5 hours. We have only 57 minutes. So there's a question that is an important question I need to ask you all. And I'll ask you all this question, and please get the answer right. So Jason, I'll say to you, I'll ask you the question. What is the best high school in Savannah, Chatham County, Georgia, if not the entire United States? What is the best high school in Savannah, Chatham County, Georgia, or the entire country?
Dang.
You get a question to him, not me.
I'm going to each one of you. I had just frozen on Jason. Now, I'm frozen. I'm waiting on him to get the response. I said, get it right.
Where? Savannah High School.
Okay.
I don't
know. Okay. Phoenix, my brother Phoenix. What is the best high school in Savannah, Chatham County, Georgia, or the entire country?
Man, they're all top notch. But if I had to put one slightly at a photo finish ahead of the others, I'm gonna say Beach, man. Particularly the class of 95.
Oh man!
Woo! Oh Jesus! Oh my God! But okay. I'm gonna say this right here. Craig Gordon, my brother Craig Gordon, my brother Jason messed up, and my brother Phoenix messed up. So I'm coming to you. Please get it right. What is the best high school in Savannah, Chatham County, Georgia?
I grew up, man, thinking it was only one high school in Savannah, Georgia. That was A.E. Beach High School. where 3 generations of my Gordon men attended, including me and my brothers.
This has been Run Tell That. We thank all of them. Check out the Geechee Witch on Instagram. Run Tell That has not had a wonderful night, because again, the way we ended. But again, we're glad to have our brothers on here, Jason, Craig, and Phoenix. We thank y'all for joining us, and we're going to be looking out for the BooHag. And we say,
Mike, tell us what the best high school is.
Yeah, man.
Marshall Vesby Jenkins High School. 1800 East Turner Avenue. HBJ. Yes.
Did you
Yes.
see Craig's face?
Yeah, I know. That one. So we signing out right now. Thank you all.
Man.
Peace and blessings.
Thank you for having us, Dr.
Man,
Slade.
thank you,
bro.
Doc.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah.
everybody. Peace to Julius. I know he had to run.
Yes, sir. Peace and blessings.
Like this. 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 Like this.